What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And this normally would have given me a great deal of joy seeing Jon Bernthal coming back as the Punisher. As I have no problem mentioning, Daredevil is absolutely one of the best superhero series ever made for television, and the Punisher was absolutely one of the best parts of that particular series, and he had a good 2-year run of his own. 2 seasons of the Punisher, absolutely phenomenal television. Can't say anything more about it. And it looks like Jon Bernthal is coming back, reprising his role as the Punisher. However, there's always a big however. You guys already know my problem with the Daredevil series coming to Disney Plus. Disney and Daredevil and the Punisher, these are just 3 things that don't fit together at all, okay? It's like peanut butter and rocks. Like, you can't make a sandwich out of that, right? And the Punisher, I mean, this guy's got to be hard R, super hard R, okay? And we already know that Daredevil is not going to be hard R, all right? I made a video about that, which I will link above. They said not PG-13, okay? We could do Deadpool R, but we're going to do PG-13 Daredevil. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, to be quite honest with you. But let's go ahead and see how Punisher will fit into all of this. This, of course, is on The Hollywood Reporter. So Jon Bernthal is returning to his most punishing role. The actor will reprise Frank Castle, aka Antihero the Punisher, in Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again for Disney Plus. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. Bernthal joins Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio in the series, which begins shooting in New York this month. In a departure from other Marvel series, which come in at 6 or 9 episodes per season, Born Again is planned as a whopping 18-episode epic. I like this part. I do like an 18-episode season. I think the more episodes, the better. It really gives you an opportunity to flesh out a full story. We'll just have to see what kind of story they tell. The writers and executive producers Matt Corman and Chris Ord are behind the show, which is expected to bow in the spring of 2024. Marvel couldn't be reached for comment. I would have so many questions for Marvel about this whole thing. Born Again takes its title from the landmark Daredevil storyline published in 1986, pretty much like Daredevil Season 3 if you go back and look at it. Written by Frank Miller and drawn by David Mazzucchelli. The show is deviating from that plot, although not much is clear. So why even call it Born Again? This is Disney, fucking Disney. The Punisher, for example, made no appearance in the comic story Daredevil versus Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, remains the focal point. Well, I mean, you could put Punisher in. He can fit inside Born Again. There's some stuff he could be doing. So I guess we gotta wait and see. Bernthal first played the grieving father turned vigilante on Netflix's version of Daredevil, debuting the character in the 2016 second season. He went on to headline his own series for Netflix, playing the titular character for 2 seasons of The Punisher, which spanned 2017 and 2019. Punisher was great. Okay, Punisher is absolutely great. And bringing this guy in is kind of good to get, the old Daredevil hype train kind of moving forward with some momentum. But again, I just go back to, 1, it's PG-13, okay? What kind of Daredevil, what kind of series can you get from a PG-13 Daredevil? You're not going to get anything like the Netflix series, okay? The violence, the ultra violence, knowing that they could go there, okay? They'll go there with the violence, where the Kingpin basically decapitates a guy with a car door, okay? Not just like a swinging car door, right? Just bashing this dude's head in between the jam of the car and the car door until his head just flops off, all right? We had that kind of violence early on in Daredevil. That lets you know, yeah, we will go there with you. But in a PG-13, I'm like, I don't know if you can really pull that off, okay? And the thing is, we've seen Marvel's idea of ultra violence when they were talking about Moon Knight, right? They're like, oh man, Moon Knight's really going there with the violence, man. It's gonna be super violence. You guys ain't seen nothing like Moon Knight. Man, that shit was so tame. I was like, oh, forget this, man. If this is their idea of what violence can do and how far they could push that PG-13 envelope, it's not gonna work out, okay? The thing that made these series, unique is that they went there with the violence, and now it feels like it's going to be a scale backwards. All right. We got The Boys, we got Invincible, we got some stories that are really hard R, and it tells those types of stories. Daredevil was right there in that same camp. And it feels like, to tone it down to a PG-13, it'd be like watching Deadpool at PG-13. Like, why? We've seen R works, keep it R, right? Why even mess around with something that works? To me, I think that's crazy. So yeah, the fact that they went there with, Daredevil and the Punisher and even Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, like all of them had moments of hyper ultra violence, okay? And that was part of the appeal. And I guess they don't understand that, all right? You know, so they're gonna, we're gonna go down to a PG-13. I'm not sure this is gonna work very well at all. The Born Again follows Netflix's Daredevil series that ran for 3 seasons from 2013 to 2018. That was known as the Netflix era of Marvel television and was back when the series side was not as integrated with the Marvel movie side. Marvel TV, then run by Jeff Loeb, produced a number of series for Netflix: Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, on top of Daredevil and Punisher. It even had a Defender series. I thought it was all right. You know, it wasn't the greatest thing. I think Daredevil was the clear, #1 winner, okay? And then I think followed by the Punisher. And then probably Luke Cage is right after that. Jessica Jones had a good season 1. Season 2 wasn't that hot. And then Iron Fist was just, I don't know what the hell that was. But Netflix canceled its Marvel shows ahead of the late 2019 launch of the competing streaming service Disney Plus. Yeah, now it mentions here, however, other actors from the Netflix Daredevil series are not expected to return. Deborah Ann Wall and Eldon Henson, who played classic supporting characters Karen Page and Foggy Nelson, respectively, are not on the roll call for the Marvel series. It is also unclear whether those characters will be recast or excised from the story. I don't know if you could tell a Daredevil story without Foggy, okay? You might be able to get away without Karen Page, possibly, but Foggy? Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what they do about that, okay? I mean, it'll be interesting. They're both, important players in the Born Again storyline. Not necessarily saying that they have to be there, but I don't know. They'll have to say, but they said they're not sticking with it anyway, so who knows? I mean, it's clearly they're going away from the storyline if they're not going to have Foggy in it. Bernthal was already known to genre fans when he joined Daredevil thanks to his breakout role as Shane Walsh in The Walking Dead. Look, Bernthal's a great actor, okay? He's a phenomenal actor, and I think he added a lot as this particular character. He feels like a natural, to be honest with you, as Punisher. So I bought it. I loved everything he did when he was in that second season, especially. He really brought, passion and energy to that particular role that we've never seen before. There's been like 3 or 4 Punisher movies made and nobody did it like Jon Bernthal. So I'm like, yeah, him coming back to Daredevil actually will add something to it, but what will he add? It's hard to say because again, they're watering it down, man. They're going to have the watered down PG-13 version of this stuff. And I just don't think that fits with what the Daredevil, especially on Netflix, is the standard that they set, what fans are going to expect out of this. As long as the story's good, it'll probably be passable. But again, people are going to be expecting that kind of violence, and it doesn't look like Marvel's going to be willing to go there. So we'll have to see how it looks. But anyway, folks, what do you think about Bernthal? Jon Bernthal coming back as the Punisher. I actually think this is good news for this particular series, although losing Foggy and Karen, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll have to see. Go ahead, guys. Get down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and your opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.